grade students. Today's lecture is for Thursday, March 26th, so we're going to go ahead and get started. If you don't already have your folder, go ahead and put this video on pause and go and get that folder out, because remember it has all of your English assignments in it, so you're going to go ahead and need that for the rest of the video. So once you have that folder, I'm going to need you to pull out your grammar worksheet, which is lesson 90, pages 295 and 296. So go ahead and get that out. You're also going to need your literature assignment, which is in your Of People book, but I made you copies and it should be in there. And that literature assignment is titled Traveling with the Beaver, which is on pages 80 through 82, so you're going to need that. And yep, I think that's pretty much all you need for right now. Oh, and also go ahead and get your spelling and vocabulary list out. So you're going to need those three things for this video. Okay, so moving on, like we always do, we're going to start our class off with our mugshot. So I'm going to go ahead and scoot over. I already wrote it on the board for you. And I'm going to let you go ahead and take a look at that. Go ahead and pause the video if you need to and write it down. Make any corrections that you see need to be corrected, and then we'll go over it together. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make those corrections. So first thing that's wrong in this sentence is the A. It's the beginning of a sentence, so it needs to be capital. Well, first let's read it. It says, A queen bee can live for 5 years and lay millions of eggs in her lifetime. So first correction was A. Q should not be capitalized. So let's make that a lowercase q. That is not the right form of B, so add an E to that. Can live for 5 needs to be spelled out. For 5, remember there's a total of 6 errors in this. Years and lay needs to be changed to lay. Millions of eggs in her lifetime. Yep, and then we're just gonna finish this sentence off with the period. All right, so let me scoot over so you guys can see those corrections. Go ahead and get out your grammar worksheet, which is lesson 90 on page 295 and 296, because we're gonna go ahead and go over that together right now. All right, so today's lesson is over homonyms. And homonyms, I wrote it on the board for you guys. Homonyms are words that sound alike or are spelled alike, but they have different meanings. And there's 2 types of homonyms, so remember that. And the 2 types of homonyms are homographs and homophones. So homographs are words that are spelled alike, but they have different meanings. And homophones are words that sound alike, but they're spelled differently. And I'm going to go ahead and go over some examples with you guys of homographs and homophones. Okay guys, so I went ahead and wrote some examples of homographs and homophones on the board for you. So go ahead and pay attention and write this down. So some examples of homographs. So remember, homographs are words that are spelled alike, but they have different meanings. So they're spelled alike, but they have different meanings. So just remember that. So some examples of homographs would be, well, the word left. The word left, both of these are spelled alike, right? But these have different meanings. This left could mean a left turn, such as you're in the car and you need to make a left turn. Or you could use left as if you're leaving somewhere. For example, Meg left her house to go to the grocery store. So those are examples of homographs. Moving on, so another example, watch. They're spelled the same, but they can mean different things. So for example, this watch could mean you're watching TV, or you can use the same, it's spelled the same, it's also watch, but you could also use that word to refer to a watch where you tell time. You wear a watch and you can tell time that way. Another example of a homograph is fly. You could use fly, F-L-Y, as you're flying a kite, or you could use fly as in the insect, a fly. Another example of a homograph is a bat, or bat. So one, you could use bat as the animal, or you could use bat as a baseball bat. So as you can see, these are all words that are spelled alike, but they have different meanings. That is what a homograph is. Okay, so homophones are words that sound alike, but they have different meanings. So I also wrote some examples of homophones on the board for you guys. So for example, chili. It's spelled alike, but it has a different meaning. So chili, as in C-H-I-L-I, is the chili that you eat. It's the food. For example, I like to eat chili. And then you have chilly, as in C-H-I-L-L-Y, which means cold, or the weather was chilly. If you look down, you also have bear. That is an example of a homophone. Bear, as in B-A-R-E, could mean a bare tree. A tree that has no leaves is bare. Or bear, as in B-E-A-R, refers to the animal. For example, I saw a bear in the forest. Okay, then you have bored. Bored, spelled B-O-R-E-D, could mean you're bored at home. And then if you spell board B-O-A-R-D, that could mean like a marker board, such as the marker board I'm using here. Another example of a homophone is ant. So ant, A-N-T, means an insect, and then ant, A-U-N-T, means a family member. So as you can see, these are words that sound alike, but they have different meanings. So that's what a homophone is. So remember, a homograph are words that are spelled alike and have different meanings, and homophones are words that sound alike and have different meanings. Okay, so go ahead and get out your grammar worksheet and look at page 295. So remember, it's grammar worksheet lesson 90. And we're going to go ahead and read this together and go through it. So it says homonyms. Homonyms are words that sound alike or are spelled alike but have different meanings. The word homonym comes from the Greek words that mean same names. There are two kinds of homonyms. The first type, homographs, are spelled alike but have different meanings and often have different pronunciations. The sow, watch the farmer sow his crops. That is a homograph. The second type of homophones, are words that sound alike, but they have different spellings and different meanings. So, for example, I know, K-N-O-W, you want to stay up late, but I still say no, N-O. Homophones. Okay, so go ahead and look at exercise 1. We're going to go ahead and read through that together and do some of the questions together as well. So exercise 1 says, write in above the italicized homograph if it is a noun, V if it is a verb, and ADJ if it is an adjective. Okay, so remember, a noun is a person, place, thing, or idea. And a verb is an action word. And then you have an adjective, which is a word that describes a noun. Okay, so this is basically telling us that we need to look at the italicized word, and that italicized word is a homograph. So look at the italicized homograph in each sentence, and we're going to determine if that homograph is a noun, a verb, or an adjective. So if it's a noun, we're going to write in above that italicized word. If it's a verb, we're going to write V over the italicized word. And if it's an adjective, we're going to write ADJ over that italicized word. So the first example is done for us. It says, the teacher will record our scores. Okay, so the italicized word in this sentence is record. Okay, so let's determine if that is a noun, a verb, or a adjective. Well, in this sentence, it's saying that the teacher will record our scores. So record is being used as a verb. It's an action word in this sentence. So it is a verb, so we're going to put V over record. And that one is already done for us. So let's go ahead and move on to number 1. Okay, so number 1 says, I have a record of my grades. All right, so the italicized word in this sentence is record. Okay, so let's determine if record is a noun, a verb, or an adjective. Okay, well, in this case, record is, it's a thing, so it would be a noun. So we would write in over record. Okay, let's move on to number 3. Look down at number 3. It says, Carla is our lead cheerleader. Okay, lead is our italicized homograph in this sentence. Okay, so in this sentence, lead is describing a noun. It's saying Carla is our lead cheerleader. So it is an adjective. So we would write ADJ over lead. And so that would be the answer for number 3. Okay, go ahead and move on to look at number 5. Look down at number 5. Number 5 says, Suk will wind the tape. All right, so it's wind is our italicized word in this sentence, and it's saying that Suk will wind the tape. So Suk is he's doing something. He's winding. He's gonna wind the tape. So wind in this sentence is being used as an action word. So wind is a verb in this sentence. So we would write V over the word wind. Okay, so moving on. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you go ahead and read over the rest of the sentences and do those on your own. Again, if you need any help, please feel free to email me, and I will be answering those emails throughout the day. But go ahead and turn your page over to 296. Look at the back, and we're going to go ahead and work on exercise 2 together. Okay, so exercise 2 says, draw a line under the words that are homophones. A sentence may contain several homophones. Okay, so remember, homophones are words that sound alike, but they are spelled differently. So what we're doing in exercise 2 is we're going to be reading the sentences, and we're going to be finding the homophones in each sentence. So we're going to be looking for the words that sound alike, but they're spelled differently. So let's go ahead and look at the first example that's done for us. So under exercise 2, the first example says, my dad bought a small sailboat at the boat sale. Okay, well, the homophone in this sentence would be sail, right? Because it's used twice, so they're spelled differently, but they sound the same, which makes it a homophone. So you would underline sail in sailboat, and you would also underline sail, S-A-L-E, that's at the end of the sentence. Those are your homophones in this sentence. Sail is your homophone. So go ahead and look at sentence number 1, and let's go ahead and do that together. Sentence number 1 says, the baby threw the toy through the bars of his crib. Okay, so in this sentence, our homophone would be through, right? They're both of those words, they sound alike, but they're spelled differently. So you would underline through, T-H-R-E-W, and you would also underline through, T-H-R-U-G-H in that sentence. So through is your homophone in sentence number 1, so you would underline both throughs. Okay, so let's move on to sentence number 2. It says, it has been a week since my operation, but I still feel weak. Okay, so it has been a week since my operation, but I still feel weak. All right, so our homophone in this sentence would be weak, right? Because it's using 2 forms of weak in this sentence. They sound alike, but they're spelled differently. So you would go ahead and underline both weeks in sentence number 2. Weak is your homophone in that sentence. Now we're going to do one more sentence together, and then I'm going to go ahead and let you finish the rest on your own. So sentence number 3, it says, their packages were sitting out there all day, so I suppose they're soaked with rain by now. Okay, so in this sentence, it's using their 3 times, but it's different forms of their. So there is our homophone in sentence number 3. So you would underline all three theirs in that sentence. So there is your homophone in number 3. So go ahead and underline there in all 3 theirs in sentence number 3. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to let you guys finish exercise 2 on your own. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. So I went ahead and wrote your classwork on the board for you guys. So this is what you're going to have for classwork today. So you need to go ahead and finish your grammar lesson 90 worksheet, which is on page 295 and 296. You are also going to need to complete your literature assignment, which is titled Traveling with the Beaver on pages 80 and 82. On that literature assignment, you're going to need to complete the Think It Through, which is on page 82, numbers 1 through 4, and make sure that those answers are written in complete sentences. And then lastly, you're just going to need to write 1 sentence for each of your vocabulary word words that are on list 29. So that is your classwork for today. I'm going to go ahead and scoot over, pause the video and write that down if you need to. So go ahead and make sure that you get that done. Alrighty guys, well, I will see y'all next time.